there is a single 1-hour window in the trading day where the same setup appears, again and again and again. Most traders never even notice it. They're staring at the exact same charts, on the exact same screens as the professionals, but they have no idea that the clock itself is part of the strategy. Think about how strange that is. 2 traders, same market, same chart, same day. One of them is watching only the price, the other is watching the price and the time. And that second trader has an edge the first one can't even see. Professional intraday traders have quietly built entire playbooks around this 1 hour. It even has a name, the Silver Bullet. And the reason it works has nothing to do with a magic indicator or a secret line you buy off someone online. It works because of who is active in the market at that exact time and what they are hunting. By the end of this, you'll know the precise window to watch, the footprint that big money leaves on the chart right before a move, and how to read that footprint, step by step, so you can plan a trade instead of chasing one. So let's start with the clock, because the timing is the entire foundation, and almost nobody gives it a second thought. Pull up any liquid market and watch it for a full day, and you'll notice something that quietly changes how you see trading. The market does not move evenly. It doesn't hand out opportunity in a smooth, steady drip from the open to the close. It moves in bursts, short, violent windows where the vast majority of the real movement happens, separated by long, dead, grinding stretches where nothing works, where price just chops sideways, and where impatient traders slowly donate their accounts out of pure boredom. And that's the trap most losing traders fall into. They spend their whole day trading the dead zones. They sit down, they feel like they should be doing something, so they force trades into a market that simply isn't moving. The Silver Bullet flips that idea completely on its head. It says, do nothing, stay patient, wait for the market to come alive, and only then, strike. So when does it come alive? The Silver Bullet focuses on 3 1-hour windows, all measured in New York time. The first is the London window from 3 to 4 in the morning, Eastern time. The second, and the most popular by a mile, is the New York morning window from 10 to 11 a.m. Eastern. And the third is the New York afternoon window from 2 to 3 p.m. Eastern. Now look at where those windows actually sit, and the logic clicks into place. They line up with the major session opens and overlaps, the exact moments when the biggest institutional desks in the world are at their screens, moving serious size. Volume spikes, volatility spikes. And a setup that needs a genuine, powerful move to work will naturally fire during the hours when the big money is active, not at lunchtime when the whole market is half asleep and drifting. For most people, the 10 to 11 a.m. window is the one to master first. It lands right after the New York Open, once the opening chaos has settled. But while the day's real direction is still being decided, it's the sweet spot. So from here on, that's the window we'll build everything around. And if you're not sitting in the American time zones, don't worry, just convert 10 to 11 a.m. New York time into your own local time once, write it down, and set an alarm. The clock is measured from New York because that's where the volume lives. Where you happen to be in the world doesn't change it. And the rule that falls out of this is beautifully simple. Outside these windows, you are patient. You are a spectator. Inside them, you are a hunter. That one piece of discipline, refusing to trade until the market is genuinely moving, will do more for most beginners than any indicator ever could. It also protects the one resource beginners burn through fastest, their focus and their emotional energy. If you're glued to the screen all day, forcing trades in dead markets, you'll be exhausted and frustrated by the time a real opportunity finally shows up. Trading one clean window keeps your mind fresh for the moment that actually matters. Now, to understand the setup itself, you have to understand what the big players are actually chasing. And the answer, the thing that drives almost everything they do, is liquidity. Here's the plain English version. Liquidity just means orders, resting orders, sitting on the chart, waiting to be filled. And they cluster in very predictable places. Every time price forms an obvious high, or better yet, 2 or 3 highs at roughly the same level, what traders call equal highs, a whole crowd of orders piles up just above them. Think it through. Everyone who is short that market put their stop loss just above those highs, because that's the safe spot. Everyone waiting to buy a breakout put their buy order just above those same highs. So that thin little zone above an obvious high becomes a dense pool of orders all stacked on top of each other. That pool is liquidity. Traders call it buy-side liquidity, because every one of those orders will trigger as a buy. And here's the key that retail traders are almost never told. The large players need that liquidity. When an institution wants to sell a genuinely enormous position, it has a problem. It can't just click sell. There simply aren't enough buyers resting at the current price to absorb an order that size. If it tried, it would crash the price down against itself and get a terrible fill. Picture trying to sell 10,000 concert tickets in a single second. If only a handful of people are standing at the booth, you'd have to keep slashing the price to shift them all. But if a huge crowd suddenly showed up, all desperate to get in, you could offload the entire stack at a good price in one go. Big institutions face that exact problem with their positions. So what does it do? It needs a big, dense cluster of buy orders to sell into, and it knows exactly where one is sitting, right above those obvious highs. So price gets driven up, pushed into that pool above the highs, where all those stops and breakout orders are waiting. Every one of those orders fires as a buy, and those fresh buyers become the other side of the institution's massive sell. The crowd, watching in real time, sees price breaking to new highs and thinks, "This is it, the breakout is happening." In reality, they just volunteered to be the fuel for a reversal. Once you truly see the market this way, those obvious, tempting highs stop looking like breakout levels to chase and start looking like exactly what they are: bait. Which brings us to the first move you are actually watching for inside the window: the sweep. A sweep is when price pushes up, spikes cleanly through those equal highs, grabs all of that resting liquidity, and then almost immediately rejects and closes back below the level. That last part is everything. It is not a clean breakout that pushes through and keeps running higher. It is a sharp, fast poke above the highs, followed by a snap right back down. On the chart, a good sweep often leaves behind a candle with a long wick sticking up through the highs, like the market reached up with one hand, snatched all the money resting above the level, and instantly recoiled. That rejection is your signal that the liquidity has been taken. The stops have been triggered. The breakout buyers are now trapped, sitting in a long position that is already going the wrong way. And trapped traders become their own kind of fuel. As price falls, each of those late buyers eventually gives up and sells to cut the loss, and that selling piles even more pressure onto the move down. The crowd that thought it caught a breakout turns into the engine of the reversal. The fuel is spent. The big player has quietly filled the position they wanted, and now, and only now, the real move can finally begin, usually in the opposite direction of the sweep. But here is the trap, and it's the reason most people who hear about this still lose with it. The sweep itself is not the trade. If you rush in and short the instant price pokes above the highs, you will get run over again and again, because in that moment, you are only guessing that it's a sweep and not a genuine breakout, and you cannot yet tell the difference. The sweep is not your entry signal. It is your alarm clock. It tells you to sit up, pay attention, and get ready, because the actual setup is about to reveal itself. What you're truly waiting for is the footprint the big player leaves behind on the way down, a very specific, very readable gap on the chart, and that gap is where the entire trade lives. That gap has a name. Traders call it a fair value gap, and once you learn to spot one, I promise you'll start seeing them on every chart you open. Here's the idea. In plain English, when that big player finally commits and drives price down hard and fast, price moves so violently that it skips over a whole range of prices without ever really trading through them properly. The move is so aggressive that buyers and sellers never get the chance to transact in that middle zone. Price simply gaps past it. And that skipped zone leaves behind a visible, measurable footprint. Here's exactly how you find it. Look at any 3 candles in a row during a strong move. On the first candle, market's low. On the third candle, market's high. In a normal, balanced market, those 2 levels overlap. There's no space between them. But when that middle candle is a big, aggressive drop, something different happens. The third candle's high never makes it back up to the first candle's low. There is a literal gap of empty space between them, a slice of price that got completely leapfrogged. That untraded slice is the fair value gap. It is the fingerprint of real displacement, proof that genuine one-sided force just tore through the market. Not indecision, not chop, force. And here is why it matters so much for your trade. The market has a strong tendency to treat that gap as unfinished business. Price will very often come back, briefly, and reach into that skipped zone, as if to fill in the prices it missed, before it continues on in the direction of the original move. And why does price bother coming back at all? Think of the market as always trying to be efficient, to make sure both buyers and sellers got a fair chance to trade at every level. A fair value gap is a little pocket of unfairness, a zone that got skipped in the rush. Markets tend to revisit those pockets to smooth them out, the same way water finds its level. It's not a guarantee, but it is a strong, repeatable tendency, and it's the entire reason your entry exists. And this is the part that changes everything for you, that pullback into the gap is not a threat to your idea. It is not the reversal you should fear. It is the invitation. It is the market politely handing you a second chance to get in, at a better price, with far less risk, right before it goes. So now watch the full sequence lock into place. You waited for the window. Price swept the liquidity above the highs and rejected. The drop that followed was aggressive enough to leave a fair value gap. And now you wait for just one more thing, for price to drift back up into that gap. When price retraces into the fair value gap, that is your entry. In this example, it's a short. You are selling, betting that the down move resumes once the gap is filled. And notice how completely different this is from the way most people trade. You are not chasing a candle. You are not guessing. You marked a specific zone on the chart in advance, and you let price come all the way back to you before you did anything at all. You are, in effect, being paid to be patient. And your stop loss, the price where you accept you were wrong and get out, goes just above the high of the sweep. Take a second on why that spot is so clean, because this is exactly what separates a real strategy from a random gamble. The entire premise of the trade was that the sweep grabbed the liquidity and then rejected. That rejection is the whole idea. So, if price climbs all the way back up and takes out the high of that sweep, then the premise is simply dead. There was no rejection. The sellers were never actually in control. The setup has failed, and you want to be out fast, with a small, pre-planned loss, not sitting there hoping and praying. Your invalidation is not a number you plucked out of the air. It is the exact price that proves your reason for the trade was wrong. That leaves the target, where you actually take your profit. And the target is beautifully logical. It is simply the next pool of liquidity in the direction you're now trading. Remember, if you swept the highs and went short, price is now traveling downward, and it is hunting the liquidity resting below the market. The sell-side liquidity, sitting just under the obvious prior lows. Why there? Because that's where the next big cluster of stop orders is parked. All the traders who went long and tucked their stops beneath those lows. Price is naturally drawn toward that pool, exactly like it was drawn to the one above. So that's where you aim. Now look at the shape of the whole trade and why it is worth taking. Your risk, the distance from your entry, up to your stop above the sweep, is small and tightly controlled. Your reward, the distance from your entry down to that pool of liquidity below, is much larger. In this example, you are risking 1 to make roughly 3. And that ratio is the entire reason a setup like this can be wrong plenty of times and still make money over the long run, which, if you caught the last video on the math of winning, you now understand all the way down to your bones. A good entry model and a good reward to risk are two halves of the very same machine. So here is the whole thing, start to finish, as one clean checklist. You wait for the window, ideally 10 to 11 a.m. Eastern. You mark the obvious liquidity resting above the highs. You watch for the sweep and, crucially, for the rejection. You find the fair value gap that the drop leaves behind. You enter when price retraces back into that gap. Your stop goes just above the sweep. And your target is the opposite pool of liquidity. That is the silver bullet. Now, the one mistake that quietly ruins this setup for almost everyone who tries it: impatience. People hear the phrase 1 hour window and they treat it like a promise, like the market owes them a trade between 10 and 11. So they force something. They see a weak, unclear poke that isn't really a sweep, or a drop that leaves no clean gap, and they take it anyway because they showed up and they want action, and it slowly bleeds them dry. So, understand this clearly. The window does not owe you a trade. Plenty of days, the sequence simply never forms, the liquidity isn't clean, or the rejection never comes. And on those days, the correct, professional move is to close the laptop and wait for tomorrow. The edge was never in trading the hour. The edge is in only trading the hour when the entire sequence lines up exactly. The moment you start forcing it, you hand back everything the setup was going to give you. Here's a simple filter to keep yourself honest. If you catch yourself zooming in, tilting your head, and trying to convince yourself that some messy little wick really counts as a sweep, it doesn't. A real sweep is obvious. If you have to argue yourself into seeing it, the answer is no. And the discipline to say no is most of the edge. And to be completely clear, because this genuinely matters, no setup wins every single time, and this one is no exception. A sweep can fail. A gap can get blown straight through without ever offering a clean entry. This is a high probability pattern, a strong clue, not a crystal ball. So you always define your risk before you enter, and you never, ever bet more than a small fixed slice of your account on any one trade. This is education, not financial advice. Take it to a chart and study it with your own eyes before you ever risk a real dollar. And honestly, that's the best way to learn it. Open TradingView, scroll back to a past 10 to 11 a.m. window on a market you like, and hunt for this exact sequence, candle by candle, until you can spot it in your sleep. And if you want it all laid out in one place, the free trading guide is linked in the description. Go grab it. It walks through liquidity, fair value gaps, and risk management, step by step, in plain English. Here's where we go next. You now have a precise entry model, a real, repeatable way to get into a trade. But an entry is only ever as good as the market you use it in. The exact same setup behaves completely differently in a strong, clean trend than it does in a dead, choppy range. In one it prints, in the other it gets chopped to pieces. So the very next video breaks down how to instantly read which market condition you are actually in, so you know when to trust a setup like this one, and when to sit firmly on your hands. I'll see you there.
Hey everyone, today's sponsor is Weeks, a global crypto trading exchange where you can trade hundreds of cryptocurrencies, use futures and spot markets, and even copy expert traders, all from one secure platform. If you want to check it out, the link is in the description below. Thanks.